What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video will be a guide on my Seed of Life Healing Over Time build. If you are someone who likes super high APM healers and wants to be constantly spamming buttons, this could be the healer you have been looking for. I have taken this build through all the mythics currently in the game with no issues, and with a little practice, you should be able to do the same. There will be a link to the build and gameplay macros down in the description for you to use. If you like what I do here and want to support the channel in other ways, I have launched a Patreon page for the channel. You can find a link to it down below as well. Remember that it only takes a few seconds, but subscribing below and leaving a like will make the algorithm overlord happy. Let's jump into the video. I want to give anyone watching this video a warning. This build is not for the faint of heart. You have to be paying very close attention to what's happening around you at all times, or you will not succeed. That being said, once you master the art of babysitting your group, this is an immensely satisfying healing build to play. Starting this guide off right, let's go over the random enchants and stat priority for this build. This will be the first time on this channel that we use this legendary RE, Seed of Life. This RE encourages high uptime on both regrowth and rejuve on as many targets as you can manage. Every time your target gains a stack of this RE, they receive a small upfront heal, increasing in power, and on 8 stacks, the Seed of Life will bloom and do a small AoE healing burst. This can stack on multiple targets and bloom for each target affected, leading to a decent amount of AoE healing for smaller groups. The 3 epic REs used for this build are Evergreen, Everliving, and Flow of Life. Evergreen is simply there to maintain a strong hot on your tank and can provide an enormous one-time heal if you allow the duration to end. I've seen it heal for over 12k in one shot in a mythic, so don't underestimate this spell. Everliving is a new one for me in this build and actually feels really good to have. It provides a much needed source of instant heals for this hot style build, which can really save your ass in dungeons. Flow of Life combined with talents and other REs, we get our tranquility cooldown to 36 seconds. You can use it on nearly every pull, and if you have your wild growth plus Healing Stream Totem rolling, the extra 30% nature healing over time gained from this RE can really keep your group topped off nicely. The rest of the REs for this build are as follows: 3 restorative totems, 3 elemental weapons, 3 gift of nature, 3 hasty tranquility, and 1 celestial focus. Let's go over the stat priority next. Starting from the top, the priority for this build is spell power, intellect, spirit, haste, then MP5. Gem all your gear with spell power and use the mystical Skyfire Diamond. The haste proc from this gem works actually really well for this build. It will let you cast more regrowth on more targets easier during your dungeons. Over to the talent tree and spells for this build. Like always, we will go left to right, so feel free to follow along as we go over this together. Starting here in Druid over in the balance tree, the spell we take here is Innervate. The talents we take here are 5 points into Genesis, 3 points into Nature Splendor, and 3 points into Dream State. Over in Restoration, we spend a lot of our points here. The spells we grab here are Rejuvenation, Regrowth, Revive, Rebirth, Tranquility, and Life Bloom. The talents we take here are 3 points into Nature's Focus, 2 points into Master Shapeshifter, 3 points into Improved Rejuvenation, 2 points into Improved Tranquility, 5 points into Gift of Nature, 1 point into Natural Alacrity, 3 points into Living Spirit, 1 point into Swiftmend, 3 points into Nature's Rejuvenation, 1 point into Tree of Life, and 1 point into Wild Growth. Moving on over to Mage, the spell we take here is Blink. Over in Paladin in the Holy Tree, the talents we take here are 3 points into Holy Guidance. Over in Priest in the Discipline Tree, Inner Fire is our spell of choice. The talents we take here are 1 point into Power Infusion and 1 point into Pain Suppression. Over here in the Shaman Tree in Elemental, we take Call of the Ancestors. Over in Enhancement, the spells we take here are Flame Tongue Totem and Wrath of Air Totem. The talents we take here are 3 points into Elemental Weapons. Over in Restoration, the spells we take here are Tremor Totem, Healing Stream Totem, Water Shield, Totemic Recall, and Earth Living Weapon. The talents we take here are 3 points into Restorative Totems, 5 points into Purification, 3 points into Nature's Blessing, and 1 point into Riptide. The last 2 points we take are over here in Warlock. The spell we grab here is Life Tap, and the talents we take here are 5 points into Improved Life Tap. The one thing this build lacks in mythic level gear is mana sustain outside of our juiced up life tap. It can be frustrating to always be using life tap, but once you get the hang of learning when to life tap and how many times, you should never be struggling for mana during dungeons. If push comes to shove, you always have Innervate, and with the 75% extra base mana gained from our talent, it's a great skill to fall back on. It wouldn't be a good build guide if I didn't go over some gameplay and rotation explanation for this build. Your first order of business is getting your 3-stack Life Bloom, Rejuve, and Regrowth on your tank. At this point, this is where your APM really starts to pick up for this build. Your goal is to maintain these 3 hots on your tank while weaving in your life taps, totems, and wild growths in between. If your tank is starting to take heavy damage, throw your Riptide and Wild Growth on him, and then look to use Tranquility. If Earth Living happens to proc, you will have 7 healing over time effects ticking, which all get boosted by 30% because of your Flow of Life RE. This will result in some extreme levels of healing over time, and is a blast to watch your healing numbers flying by at turbo speed. I hope you all give this new build a try. This is no joke, a super fun build to play. It's not ever going to be the most busted healing build in the game, but something about maintaining this many hots and juggling your cooldowns really makes me happy. Druid healing was always my favorite style, and this one has been an absolute joy putting it together for you all. And with that, this video is done. Subscribe below for more content. I will see you all in the next one.